soldiers on the front lines, risking everything. They come home expecting support, stability, and dignity. Instead, they return to crumbling barracks, unreliable health care, and underfunded schools for their kids. But the budget, it carves out a smooth $45 million. Not for housing, not for care, but for a parade, a show, a spectacle. That's what Defense Secretary nominee Pete Hegseth just defended. And Rep. Wesley Bell wasn't having any of it. This wasn't a hearing, it was a reckoning. And Bell, standing firm, made sure no one could look away. He starts without ceremony. No drawn-out greetings, no political dance. Just this, "I don't feel sorry for you." Boom. Just like that, the tone is set. Bell's not there to make friends. He's there for answers. And he's speaking for every soldier who doesn't get the luxury of dodging the hard questions.
Just saying, just as a hypothetical, are you authorized to do that?
I have not and do not.
Exactly, and I assume that. So when you told our ranking member that everything that you say is authorized, that wasn't completely accurate, correct?
What I said is that every way that I communicate is authorized.
No, you actually said everything that you said is authorized. I wrote it down. Now, with that said, and the reason I bring that up is because it's about accountability. And we're talking about this war ethos. The primary component of that is accountability. And I'm going to indulge me in a quick analogy. Republicans introduced a bill on the House floor a few days ago, a resolution standing against terror, racism, hate, anti-Semitism, which as an American, as a black man, I'm going to stand against those things 6 times a week, twice on Sunday. Now, the nefarious part was there was a line that was stuck at the end of that resolution that essentially gave a shout out to law enforcement, which I do support, but also to ICE, which right now, a lot of Americans have a problem with the way ICE is being deployed. And I'm not happy with what they're doing, nor do I want to shout them out for that. And so accountability was, I didn't duck from the question. I went and I talked to my constituents. I went on social media. I did interviews to explain exactly where I stood, that I stand against hate. I stand against racism. I stand against anti-Semitism. And I hate that that line was stuck in there. That's accountability. So when we're asking you these questions and you're ducking and you're not answering them directly, that's not a culture of a war. What was the term? A war ethos, a warrior ethos. I'm looking at members who serve, and they're taking their lead from you. That starts with you. And if we have troops who are in war zones and they're watching while they're risking their lives, and you can't just answer some tough questions, what kind of culture is that setting? So, as a prosecutor, when I think about what's happening in California and around the country with ICE, it's not only dangerous and unconstitutional, but it raises serious public safety concerns because we have people with masks that are going around saying that they're ICE, and we've had reports of that, saying that they're ICE and committing crimes. And that's a big problem. But it gets me back to the point of the accountability piece. So, for example, do you believe quality military housing is important? Yes or no? And just keep your mic on for time because I don't only have a minute left.
Our budget commits to robust military housing and barracks.
Do you believe military children deserve a strong education?
Our budget funds strong education, and we hope more educational choices for military.
Love it. Is it a priority to provide real, reliable care to our veterans?
Of course.
So, Mr. Secretary, we have a problem here because your answers don't match your budget priorities. You said your mission is to restore this warrior ethos and that threats we face are serious, but so must our investments. So when we think of, for example, a $45 million parade, I can think of 45 million things we could do more effectively with $45 million than a parade, such as the things that I mentioned. Military housing, military children's education, providing reliable care for our veterans. All of these things would be higher on the priority than a parade. And so the parade, and when we talk about when we talk about showing strength, we're not talking about theater. We're not talking about showmanship. We're talking about things that actually make our military more lethal and keeps us safer. And so what I'm saying is that in my limited time left is accountability does matter, and this body cares about what our military is doing, because we care about national security, and we all take it very seriously.
Gentleman's time
My
has
time.
expired.
Bell reminds us that he's visited troops in war zones, men and women with their lives on the line. He's seen the cost of leadership firsthand. So when Hegseth tries to slide by on vague answers and soft reassurances, Bell presses harder. Are you authorized to leak intelligence that could endanger troops? Bell asks. Simple question. Yes or no? Hegseth squirms. He rejects the premise.
He avoids.
He spins. But Bell is locked in. You told our ranking member everything you say is authorized. But that's not true, is it? Hegseth backpedals again, claiming he was referring to how he communicates, not what he says. Bell doesn't even blink. He's got receipts.
No.
You said everything you said is authorized. I wrote it down. And just like that, the mask slips. The narrative begins to crack. Bell isn't just grilling a nominee. He's drawing a line between values and actions. And what follows next hits even harder. He shares an experience from the House floor. A resolution was introduced, condemning racism, anti-Semitism, and hate, values Bell deeply supports. But hidden at the end of the resolution, a shout-out to ICE, the immigration agency currently under fire for its practices. A lot of Americans are deeply uncomfortable with how ICE has been deployed in recent years, and Bell says he's one of them. He's not against law enforcement, but blindly praising ICE. That's a line he won't cross. So what did he do?
He faced it.
He didn't duck. He didn't run from backlash. He spoke to his constituents.
He explained his position publicly.
That, he says, is what accountability looks like. And that's exactly what's missing from Hegseth's responses. While Bell owns his actions, the nominee dodges. And in Bell's words, that's not warrior ethos. That's political theater.
But it doesn't stop there.
Bell expands the lens and the stakes.
He brings up disturbing reports from across the country.
Individuals wearing masks, impersonating ICE agents, and committing crimes.
These aren't just headlines, they're warnings.
When institutions like ICE operate without oversight, it creates chaos, fear, and criminals are exploiting that chaos to prey on vulnerable communities.
It's not just unconstitutional, it's dangerous.
And it all circles back to that one theme: accountability. The kind that starts at the top, not at the bottom. Then Bell changes gears, but he's just getting started.
He fires off rapid-fire questions with surgical precision.
Do you support quality military housing? Yes. Do military children deserve a strong education?
Yes. Should veterans have reliable care?
Of course, Hegseth responds. But Bell isn't there for feel-good answers.
He's there for truth.
Because when you flip through the budget, the numbers tell a different story. A $45 million parade. That's what got the green light. While housing conditions crumble. While schools for military kids are underfunded. While veteran care systems remain stretched thin. That's not just a missed opportunity. It's a betrayal. Bell doesn't raise his voice.
He doesn't need to.
The facts speak for themselves. And the parade.
It's the symbol of everything that's wrong with the current priorities.
Flash over function. Optics over outcomes. Theater over substance. True strength, Bell argues, doesn't come from pageantry.
It comes from leadership.
It comes from showing up when it's hard, admitting when you've fallen short, and fixing what's broken.
It's not about parades. It's about people.
And in one of his most powerful points, Bell holds up a mirror to the secretary.
He reminds him, soldiers don't get to duck questions on the battlefield.
They don't get to hide behind scripted lines when lives are on the line. So why should the leaders who send them into danger get that privilege? If we expect accountability from our troops, then we should demand even more from those who lead them. The hearing wraps up, Bell's time expires. But the message, it lingers.
This wasn't just a political moment. It was a gut check.
For Congress, for the Pentagon, and for every American who believes national security starts with taking care of the people who defend it. Because if we can find $45 million for a parade, then we can damn sure find funding for barracks, for classrooms, for hospitals, for our troops and their families. It's not about left or right, it's about right and wrong. And this time, someone had the guts to say it out loud. If you believe our soldiers deserve more than lip service, if you think budgets should reflect values, not vanity, then don't let this moment fade. Like this video, share it, leave a comment, and subscribe for more truth, straight from Capitol Hill. Because silence is easy. Speaking up, that's where change starts.